a year. Well, almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together. Okay? My boyfriend is also 34, grown man. He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, I obviously, like you all have known, I have become unemployed. And I have not been able to find a job. I have put in like 30 applications today. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling, and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this. I'm not gonna get stressed out. I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And so I am vulnerable.
Oh, fam, what was you doing that you was getting? What happened? What's going on? Who is this? Yo, hold on, wait. Nah.
I cried last
Why you late?
We need to stay away from these
Fam. That's not when I played it. Come on, man.
Who are these niggas? I cried last one. You know what I mean? We need to stay away from these niggas.
You stay away from these niggas, man. Yo, tighten up. I be hitting the button and whatnot. You know how the old commercial used to go. I got the something in my left hand and a Android in my right hand. Yo, I hit the button when I want to hear something. I hit the button when I don't want to hear nothing. When I hit the button, you know, I guess I gotta touch the screen first or something. Let me see something. See?
Where is it to go?
Why you?
Where is it to go?
I don't understand, man. Something going on. Whatever, ain't gonna stop this show. I'm a very positive person. Why I keep telling you about optimism. Optimism is your greatest tool and your greatest weapon. Okay, against stress. Because again, Six Paths TV, I've taken it upon myself to give myself a whole lot of work. This channel is here to help you improve your relationship to people, places, and things. This channel is here to help you work on your faith. Because your faith, it has a huge impact on your long-term decisions, and also how you take care of your relationships. Because faith is the reason why we do the right thing too. It's because we have faith that when I do the right thing, that secures a stable existence. And men in general have all agreed to become more peaceful in order to have more stability and have civilization. That's why the world is a safer place now, because of these things. Anywho, so shit's just weird, man. It's weird, but Six Paths TV, alas, we are here to touch on all these things. All right. All right, man, I'm sorry. Kind of veered off a little bit for a second. I'm gonna let her tell the story. But yo, who is this though? I need someone to tell me who the hell this is. She's struggling
With my man, and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on the rent, and so I'm gonna need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house, his own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood. He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him, mind you, and has been living with him for however many years that he's like lived there, almost the whole time he's lived there. And so I'm like, if his best friend can live with him, why not his girlfriend, you know? So I'm like, hey, I need a place to stay. Which honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't even have to ask for that. He knew I was struggling. He should have said, hey, let me take something off of your plate. Like, come stay with me so that you can breathe and get this. If he really cared about me, he would have said that, but he didn't. He sat there and he watched me struggle and then watched me get to the point where I was like, hey, I just need a break. Like, I'm literally so depressed. I'm losing my mind. I can't find anything. Can you please help me? And he said, no. He said, no. He said, no, you cannot live with me. Mind you, living with him is free. Doesn't cost him anything. He said, no. I can't live with him. At first, he goes, oh, I like that we have our own places to retreat to when we get into our arguments. And wrong answer. Number one, when we get into arguments, we never leave. Like, we stay in the same room and we continue to talk it out until we work it through, which I think is a really good habit that we have and a really good green flag that we have in our relationship. Yes, do we get into arguments? So does everyone. Yes, do I lose my cool? I'm a woman, but I rein it back in and we figure it out and nobody goes home. So that's a weird thing to say. We've never even done that. Second of all, that's like a problem to me, not a solution. When we get into arguments, we should not be leaving, because what happens when we get married? There is no way to go. We both live in the same house. So maybe that's not a good habit to start. Being that we have not started yet, maybe let's not start that now. On our very first date, I told him that I wanted to be engaged within a year. I said, after a year, I want to be engaged. He said that's plenty of enough time for someone to know whether or not they want to get married or not. This is what he said. We have talked about it, I shit you not, probably 10 times throughout this year. And never once did he say, I don't think this is going well enough for that to be a realistic goal anymore. Never once did he say, hey, like, let's pump the brakes. I don't think that we're doing that well for it to get to that. So I'm thinking we're doing well. We're on schedule. After a year or a year and a half, we'll probably get engaged. Then he goes, I don't think I'm going to live with someone again until I'm married to them. Which is some new boundary that he literally just made up, because he's never said that the whole time we've been together. And I go, maybe it's not a good idea that you live with someone after you already got married to them, because what if you guys are not compatible to live together and you don't know that until after you're already married? Then what? That's really dumb, actually. And so I'm like, okay, that's a completely new thing, but granted, it's been a year. We set our goal for a year. Are we going to get married? And he goes, no, that was your goal. Since when was this my goal? It was my goal, but like, I thought we were in agreement, because you never said that we weren't in agreement. Clearly, I made all this up in my head, and this was never a goal.
Damn, she's still going. Oh shit, it's a long ass.
I just thought it was a goal because I continuously talked about it, and he never said that it was unrealistic. As a matter of fact, he said the quite opposite, that it was a realistic goal to have. And never once, as we neared to the end of that year, did he ever say, hey, I don't think we're close to being married. So imagine my surprise when he says, I don't think we're close to being married. We still have things to figure out. Because a couple of nights ago, I got super irritated at him and yelled at him and told him to leave my house. And apparently that's enough of a reason for him to be like, whoa, I don't want to marry her. All right. So yeah. And so I said, hey, I'm actually scared that I'm going to be homeless, because I said, I'm actually thinking I'm going to be homeless because I don't have a job, and these bills keep coming, and I can't do it no more. I'm tapped out of resources. And I think I'm gonna end up, if you don't let me live with you, I'm gonna end up in my car, living in my car, something like being actually homeless. And he goes, well, plenty of millionaires have lived in their car before.
He got a good point. He got a good point. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I mean, you know what's interesting about it, but you know what? I mean, this is not a real story, but let me speak to this point. Now, I've heard Crimson Cure talk about this shit at length, and what we seeing go on is, it's really hard to know what you should do next or how you should go about things when you don't understand the proper value of things. So, for example, if I don't know what diamonds are, I could have diamonds just sticking out of the ground in my backyard and look at them all the time and even maybe step on them. Like, oh my God, man, shit's as sharp as a motherfucker. You gotta be careful over there. Because if I don't know what diamonds are, if I don't know what gold is, I could look right at gold. If no one told me, yo, those are diamonds. Diamonds is worth this much, or gold is worth this. You know what I mean? Like, I will look at that. If I didn't know what it was, I will look at that and be like, oh, well, it's shiny. You know, or that shit is, it's a rock. You know what I mean? So, believe it or not, everything is like that. We learn what the value is of things through experience and then from other people, right? So, later on, I wanted to play Crimson Cure stream. So she's doing a cook on, because we don't get into, actually, this actually ties into the Melissa Ford video. And I guess what I wanted to say was that he made reference to plenty of millionaires have lived in their car, basically meaning that plenty of millionaires have had times where they were down. I'm gonna tell you right now, my comeback story finna be crazy, nigga. I can't wait to tell the story, nigga. I've been walking by faith, nigga, and thriving. You understand, nigga? You see my jawline, nigga? I came out this shit fine somehow. But anywho, but it does speak to an issue that we have a generation of women that want more than any other previous generation. And I guess this is a bit cliche to say at this point that, you know, these women don't want to do, you know, like really anything that the men are actually asking for. You know what I mean? Or that they're not, or they don't have a deep understanding. Not only that, we can't have good relationships. We can't have a good planet Earth if we don't have the strength or the stamina, the spiritual stamina to do nice things just because we know it makes the world better. We all have to live that way. And we have to do it through our actions and our words and our temperaments towards each other. Make the effort, you understand? But anywho, anyway, so she's doing the whole cook on how feminism made women lose all of their value. And that's how we get to a point where a lot of pretty much every woman wants to appear or get the same attention or copy the aesthetic of a sex worker. You know what I'm saying? Like Crimson Cure had covered earlier. It was Sherry. I think her name was Sherry. I think from Basketball Wives, and she's doing some photo shoot where she basically got on lingerie. And she's 55 years old, and it's not like it's just her. Like I feel like Basketball Wives and the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like it was really bad for women because it encouraged more of a childlike mentality in younger and older women because again, we watch this show, what you seeing, shout out to Kwame Brown. You seeing people get rewarded for bad behavior, and more than ever, you see people in real life behaving like pieces of shit because of the media that we consume. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, anywho, I'm gonna let this play a little bit longer, but I'm gonna explain that if this were a true story, this were actually happening, I'm gonna explain why he didn't let her in.